This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hello everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Now, here we are just about in November, all right, right around Halloween, just about to crack in. There's only 2 more months left in what has been a very challenging year for a lot of people, and just overall, whether no matter how you look at it. Now, I'm not going to mention why, because I just don't talk about this thing. I don't like to. And nobody likes to bring up bad things, but it made me think, what's coming in 2021 for us? Will we see conventions again? And I wondered about this a lot, because I've talked to a lot of people in the industry, and not having these conventions has actually been a blessing for them. And I'm talking about companies, bigger companies, where they've saved not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but millions of dollars in advertising budget, and that they were able to keep people's jobs, which I thought was very important. Keeping people's jobs is always an important thing, especially in this industry or any industry, because of the lack of the cost and the expense of some of these conventions. Will conventions survive, or do we move to this online thing? With Essen Online and Gen Con Online, how many of you were really enthralled and stuck there? Not stuck, but really engaged in these online events. Were you somebody that was there, for 12 hours a day? Were you able to break away, or was it, hey, I have my job to do, my family to take care of? Because if you're home and you're watching these events, it's not like when you're at a convention and that's all there is the event. So I wonder if that's something that'll die out, or do we lose some conventions out of this debacle of a year? The other thing is, do you find yourself playing more solo games? Do you find yourself, going into 2021, are you more attracted to play solo games and not willing to take the risk of going into groups where you're not sure? Listen, you could take your temperature and you don't know whether or not you have whatever it is, or you're carrying whatever it is. Do you sit down, or do you trust the fact that your friends can be completely honest with you and upfront? And or is it where Tabletop Simulator is more of a go-to now, where you guys can enjoy the company of one another still over line? But does that take away from what board gaming really is? How many companies will we lose because of this very challenging year? Who's going to be the first convention to jump out of the gate and go, we're going to be the ones that test the waters. We're the ones that are going to put all kinds of policies in place. And how much does that hurt their bottom line? And will they be able to continue after that? Or do we suffer through with this and everything that's going on and miss another year of conventions? Can the bigger conventions survive not having 2 years of conventions? A lot of questions going into 2021. What games are you looking forward to? Is gaming even a priority for you now? Does things the way they are even make things harder for you? Is life even harder for you? Or do you find that you found your own little niche, that the things that are coming out and things that are coming out got you more excited for things? Or the lack of things make you concentrate more on the games that you've already purchased? There's a lot of questions heading into a new year. There's a lot of things heading into, as we finish out the last 2 months and head into the unknown. And what survives, what changes? Because there are going to be changes. There has to be. some of the great channels out there. When you start thinking about the big fellas, okay, and I think about Watch It Play, and I think about Dice Tower. How has all this affected them? Tom has 9 lives. Okay, he will always survive, and he will always do well. That's why he is the leader in board gaming. Okay, I've talked and had private conversations with a lot of people, and they scratch their heads. They're just wondering, and they're hopeful. And I think that's what you have to rely on. One of the greatest words in the world is hope. Okay, because you hope things will get better. You hope the businesses, we don't lose smaller businesses, because the smaller businesses, the independent guys, always kept challenging the bigger guys to be better at what they do. And with everything that's happened, it really has hurt that independent guy, that smaller guy. We can only hope that in 2021 that their voices get to be heard as much. And that's where I think some of the conventions hurt not going on, is being able to find some of these independent guys where they can bring and show their game and take a chance with a huge budget. Take a budget and say, okay, we're going to show this off. We're going to make this happen. I think the things that really keep this going is Kickstarter. Kickstarter, where everybody was saying, Kickstarter. Well, guess what? Kickstarter has really, really helped during these very difficult times, because it has helped companies be able to fund things, show things off, showcase things, and of course, with some wonderful channels out there, be able to get the message out. Hey, we're going to go on Kickstarter, and we're going to be able to do all these things. Kickstarter is a big help to get a lot of games funded and keep producing things. Now, whether they get manufactured in places, well, that's, that slowdown has always been something that has been a struggle for years. The other thing, when you look at this is, how many people that don't get to go, influencers or board game channels that don't get to go and mingle with their fans at conventions. How much does that hurt them? There's some channels that are just doing some incredible things and having some incredible growth, and they deserve it because they work very hard at it. But the thing that I see is that they are really just dissecting games. They're not flooded with millions and millions of games, and a lot of channels have been able to rise to the top, and tip of the hat to them. God bless them all, and I wish them nothing but the best. The bigger guys, I think it kind of helps sometimes not going to these big conventions, even though it's a lot of fun and a lot of work too. They bring you a lot of different things and a lot of info, and now they have to work even harder, and you have to admire them for that. Going into this, last part of this year and into the new year, it's going to be very interesting. And I wonder what you guys feel as fans of board gaming. Where are we going? Is it something that is going to be able to withstand this extraordinary time that we have gone through? And where do we go from here? What are your thoughts? I think personally, it's going to be very interesting if we can get through some of this stuff. We keep hoping for the best, and I always keep on telling you, hope is the greatest thing to have. And just hope that everybody stays safe. Hope that everybody keeps their jobs. Hopes that everybody finds work that's looking for work. And I hope that all these smaller companies can survive, and I hope the big guys can get through this and just go back to what they do best, and that's create wonderful experiences for us all. So I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are, your hopeful thoughts, as well as some of the things that have discouraged you. Put them down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. And as always, until next time, it's your old pal Ron.